What's up, everybody? In this particular video I am going to be showing you how to make some manly ass cheesecake. This is actually one of the very first things I learned how to make because I love cheesecake, but it was always so expensive, so I wanted to learn how to make my own, and I actually failed quite a bit, which is actually kind of funny considering this is such an easy recipe. As long as you stick to a couple of basic things, you can't go wrong. So the very first thing we're going to do is we've got our mixer here. You can do this by hand, but it'll take you forever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start throwing some cream cheese, and this is room temperature cream cheese. Okay, and I'm going to start throwing this inside the mixer here. And if you use room temperature, it's going to end up saving you some headache. You can put cold in there, but it's like I said, it's a headache. Let's see, what do we got? We got 3 inside there, and I'm going to be making 2 of these. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 1 more in here. I'm going to put 4 because I'm going to be making with pre-made graham cracker crust. You can make your own graham cracker crust. I mean, it's so easy. You get graham crackers, you smash them until they're a dust. You pour maybe half a stick of melted butter in with it, and then you shape it into whatever you want. And you bake it for about 20 minutes until it kind of looks like it's hardened up a little bit. Keeps the shape that it wants. And then you've got your crust, and then you go ahead and you put it in at that point. Really easy. So we've got 4 things of cheese here, cream cheese, and I use a generic. There's no reason to go out and buy the expensive stuff. At least I don't see why you would need to do that. And once again, I'm not using a measuring cup, but this is going to end up being about a cup of sugar with 4 of those. About a cup. Okay. Let's go ahead and cruise this down. Lock that in. And we'll turn this on low and let it start creaming together here. Some people would probably put a little bit more sugar in it, but I kind of like it when it's got a little bit of a tang. Like, you can taste the sugar, but it's got that tang. And one of the reasons why we don't have to worry about the sugar too much is because we're going to be putting a blueberry sauce on top of this. Okay. But we're going to kind of cream these things together. Let me turn that guy off. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a container of sour cream. Okay. Some people will use half and half, or they'll use heavy cream, or they'll use milk, and then what they'll do is they'll put some flour in here to kind of act as a thickener. I'm not real crazy about that. I don't like, well, I can't have flour. I'm not technically supposed to even have dairy. Here's a little bit more sour cream. This one is regular sour cream, and you can tell that it's not as runny. The light sour cream, honestly, the only reason why that's in there is because when I bought it, I didn't know it was light. I would have just got regular sour cream. But it ain't going to hurt nothing. It's not going to hurt nothing. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. Let that mix. And while that's going on, I'm going to take 4 eggs, and I'm going to put 4 eggs inside here. These are some pretty fragile shells, and part of me thinks that I should probably put these in a glass or something first to make sure I don't get any shell inside the cake, but I think I'm going to be okay. When I was at the store and I was picking up the sour cream, there was this really hot chick I saw inside there, and she was standing behind me in line, and part of me was like, if I was younger, attractive, and not married and whatnot, I would totally ask you to come over and have some cheesecake. She would still turn me down because she's lactose intolerant, I'm sure. We're going to be putting some pure vanilla extract inside this, and this is not artificial. This is like for real. And you only need to put about a couple capfuls. The way that we go ahead and we do the lemon is we have what's known as a micro rasp or a microfile, and we just take our lemon and we kind of go over it. We don't want to get the pith in there, and the pith is the white part. We're just trying to take the yellow part on the outside off. This contains a lot of lemon scent and the lemon oils, and it actually makes a difference. So you go ahead and you just kind of do this. And this is what some people would refer to as zesting a lemon. To me, zesting sounds like you're using soap on it, you know. Zestfully clean. When you're picking out lemons, so we want to take some of the zest and we want to throw it inside. When you're picking out lemons, you're picking out limes, you're doing anything like that, you should always pick them up and make sure that they feel heavy for their size, because that'll tell you that there's a lot of juice in them. Nothing worse than buying a damn lemon or a lime and there ain't nothing in it. The shit's all dry. So we got our lemon zest in there. We're going to turn this back on again and we're going to get this all stirred up real good. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this and we're going to put it inside the pie crust. So at this point, this is where you want to go ahead and pour your bacon fat inside there. Okay, that's a joke. You don't do that. That would probably be a very bad thing to do. Okay, but I'm taking a spatula, silicone spatula, and I'm kind of knocking down the sides here of the bowl just to try to get everything mixed up. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour this in. We're going to leave a little bit of room for the blueberries. If I can get over here, it's kind of hard for me to do this with the camera in the way. But we want this to almost be full. But we need to make sure we got room for the blueberries. Okay, that's not bad. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let these guys kind of sit here while the oven is warming up with the water in it. And then I'm going to put these in the oven. You just end up putting like a casserole dish like this with water in it. It's basically just trying to keep the humidity level in the oven at a decent level. So we're going to put this at 350. It's going to take anywhere from maybe an hour. Actually, it's anywhere from like 45 minutes to like maybe like an hour and 15 minutes. But you can just figure maybe about an hour. And what we're going to be looking for is when the top of the cheesecake is starting to look a little brown, like a little lightly golden, and also it's set. And generally I'll use the toothpick technique, just like with any other cake. Generally I'll do that. So now it's the waiting game. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to grab a couple of toothpicks here. And what I want to do is I want to see if when I stick this in, if it comes out wet. Okay? And because I'm doing this just like a regular cake. That one is still wet. Okay. So this one is a little wet still. This one is just a little wet. So I'm putting this back in. I'm going to let it go for maybe another 15 minutes and then I'll test it again. So now that our cheesecake is done and it's been refrigerated, we're going to go ahead and start with the topping. And putting this on about medium heat. There's a pack of blueberries. Doesn't have to be organic or nothing, but these are the only ones that they had available. And I'm going to put a touch of salt, and when I say a touch, I literally mean like a touch, like barely anything like that. We're going to add some sugar. I'm not really measuring because I base it on the amount of blueberries that I can kind of see here and the ones that I can't really see. So in other words, it's like I think of it like if I could put a good coating of sugar on each blueberry, just enough that would stick on each blueberry. That's kind of like how much I'm putting inside here. I can always add more, but I don't even know how sweet these berries are naturally. So I'm kind of taking a step back here, just putting an initial amount because I don't really want to overdo it. So this is the lemon that we had zested, and I'm going to kind of put my hand here, make sure no seeds get in this, and it looks like I'm not going to have a problem with the seeds. Okay, but I want to put the juice of a lemon in here. About a capful of vanilla extract. Now I'm doing this while it's cold so it doesn't clump up, okay? But something along those lines. And now I'm going to stir it up so we don't get clumps, okay? If you try to do that in this while it was hot, you would end up getting like little balls of cornstarch. So we're getting a little bit closer to what we're looking for. And what we want to do is we definitely want this to start seeing some bubbles. We want to see it simmer and stuff because we don't know if this is going to be enough cornstarch. Okay. Now at this point, the blueberries should have opened up, and then the cells should be releasing a bunch of their juices and the water and all sorts of good stuff, and everything should get softened. And you're going to see now that this has become a little bit more thick. This is almost like a syrup at this point. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. At this point, if you wanted to, you could use this for syrup for your blueberry pancakes. Like if you're making pancakes in the morning, you can make your own blueberry syrup like this. Do the exact same thing. Use blackberries, use raspberries, whatever. You can do that, and you can make all sorts of really cool syrups for your pancakes. But this is, I want this to be a little thicker. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to take some cornstarch and mix it with some water. So right here I've got some cold water and some cornstarch, and I'm mixing it up like this so that way it becomes basically just like a liquid. If I try to go straight in here right now, it would just clump up. Okay, and this isn't really what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this at the same time as I'm putting in this water and cornstarch until it gets to the thickness that I want. I don't want to pour it all in at the same time, because if I do, I might end up with something that's very similar to Jell-O. Let me wait for this to get back to temperature, because after this cools, it's going to thicken up some more. Okay, so when it has the proper thickness here, that means when it cools, it's going to be thicker. Okay, but this is looking pretty good. When I pick it up, yeah, this is looking pretty good. Okay. And see how it's sticking to the spoon real good? Okay, so I'm going to call that good. This is going to start thickening up even more. And within the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's going to be like glue inside this pan. So I've refrigerated the cheesecake already. I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes so this one's not completely boiling, and then I'm going to pour this on top of the cheesecakes. So what we're going to do is I'm stirring up this blueberry sauce, and it is hot. You can let this cool down a little bit more if you wanted to, but what I want to do is I want to pour some on top on both of these. Okay, and try to get both of them to have equal amounts of the topping. And this stuff right here, I got. There's actually a really killer thing that you can do with this. Don't put it in the sink. What you do is you put some vodka inside there, or some rum. You swirl it around until it absorbs all of that blue, kind of cleans it up, and you have a nice little blueberry shot. So you'll see about how much vodka I put in here, maybe 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to end up stirring this up and trying to infuse that blueberry sauce with the vodka. So I'm going to take my good old-fashioned, whatever the hell you call this, it's a glass, right? And I'm going to pour my blueberry vodka inside here. And I've got some blueberry lemonade here that I'm going to put inside there. So let's see if this is any good. That's pretty damn good. We're going to go ahead and pop the lids on and put it back inside the refrigerator until it is time to get diabetes. Alright, so it's been refrigerating for a little bit, and my nephew said he's up for a slice. Alright, okay. Alright. Son of a bitch. Oh, would you get the thingamabobber? Sorry. Here, scrape that shit off. Okay, hang on for a second. Alright, so that's what it looks like when you don't know how to cut it, or the dam. But from the side, at least here, you can kind of see what we got going on. That doesn't look too shabby from the side. I just shouldn't have used this knife to cut it. But anyway, go ahead and jump in there.
Oh damn. Is this supposed to be a lemon? A lemon cheesecake?
you put lemon zest inside it because there's always a little lemon flavor to cheesecake. It's usually a vanilla lemon flavor.
Oh, damn. There's a like I can taste a lot of lemon in it, but like it's like really good.
It's not overly sweet.
Nope. This is some really fucking good cheesecake. Like, all right, I only like original, but this is like this is original and all that, but like this is better than what you can get at Cheesecake Factory and shit. You know?
Oh really? I've never eaten there.
Yeah, it's a fucking terrible place. It's overly priced and only fucking rich fucks go there.
Because some people like it sweeter.
No, I don't like.
I like it where it's got a little bit of tang to it, like where it's got a little bit of But anyway, guys, that's how I go about making my cheesecake, and it's real easy, as you saw. And I mean, it's like I wasn't sitting there with measuring cups or anything like that. And he's still working on it, but you can see it's not runny or nothing. It looks right. But yeah, maybe one of these days I'll end up doing one of like a chocolate cheesecake or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah,
those two are for my wife and my nephew, so they got plenty of stuff to stop their heart for the next few days. Anyway, guys, until next time, I will talk to you later.